All right, everyone, we are back for our second episode of This Is Going to Hurt. Now, I had some trouble getting dinged for copyright last time, so I am trying to change up the video a little bit more, squish it up, stretch it out, flip it around, and I already had the This Is Going to Hurt background behind it, so we will see if that helps. On to episode 2 of This Is Going to Hurt.
Swabs go missing all the time. I'm not telling you how to do your job, Doctor, but if we can't find this...
I'm sorry, I thought you weren't telling me how to do my job.
Okay, everybody, just checking your...
Inside you.
Sort of inside me.
Sort of totally inside you.
And it wouldn't dissolve?
It was 6,000 or 7,000 years.
If you remember, you misdiagnosed his mother, so he was delivered about 15 weeks too early.
No, did you repeat the bloods?
You've done your bit, mate. We're doing ours now.
Is he allowed to go in there?
Swab at De Niro.
Oh, I'd have gone with Swabbert Downey Jr.
Julian said that one, so...
Robert Downey Jr.
Harry. Okay.
Well, boyfriend's a little drunk there, isn't he? And passed out.
Okay. Assuming that's a jumper, you were knitting to wear over it.
And that's another thing I need to look into, the use of the word jumper, because I have listened to several audiobooks that repeat the word jumper over and over and over again in situations that don't sound like they're using the word the same way that we would in America. So I'm going to have to see if a jumper is different in the UK than it is in America.
No, I've had to cut sleeping out. It's an unnecessary distraction from these exams.
Sleeping is an unnecessary distraction.
And I have done a quarter of anatomy, so that's what, a leg?
I want to sound like your mum.
Right, I should be married by now.
You can do it on his own for once. And he's taking all day the way he's acting at the moment.
And on your tummy,
How cold are they?
a bit.
They've just been inside another patient then.
Means they haven't been inside a living patient. Right. How bad's the pain?
Oh, fucking Christ. I'm fine.
Sure you are.
Portion where the ovary gets twisted around on itself. I want to admit you to the ward.
Serious, there's nothing.
I don't think it's nothing.
Operate if he wasn't certain.
Oh, 100%.
Aren't they supposed to do some sort of
Oh, look,
scan
come on,
first?
let's go.
Your friend can pop home and get some stuff for you.
Not friends.
Enemies.
Civil partners.
Yes, I didn't mean.
But I
Sorry.
presume
You
you don't have a
didn't
problem
pick
with
up on that.
No.
Baby, don't pick a fight with the person who's trying to save your life.
that. So he claims.
Lockhart, there's a patient on the ward I think we should operate on Smartish.
Let's hear it then.
I never knew you were such a good ventriloquist, Mr. Lockhart. She was in significant pain when I examined her.
Sad.
A&E did an ultrasound which was normal but excluded.
Do you normally
They did
operate
an
on patients
ultrasound.
with period pain?
Really not period pains.
Look, we'd be cautious too if I'd nearly killed one of my patients at your stage.
We're at the same stage, Julian.
Oh, sorry. Where it says acting.
What if it is a variant torsion?
Send her home. There's a good boy.
Decided, in fact, to not operate, but to hear and see how you get on overnight.
Oh, luckily my female sexual partner is just fetching some stuff for me.
Top to a Zimmer frame?
No, they've replaced all the ward computers with computers on wheels.
Of course they fucking have. Turn it on then. This thing was any more useless, you'd be out of a job.
Takes a while to figure out how everything works when you get new stuff, when you
Okay,
get
let's go
new
and see her.
programs, when you get new systems.
Let's get the cardiology doctors to review you, just to be on the safe side.
So he's just being overly cautious. I probably should have picked up on from the beginning, but I didn't. But I think after a handful of excessive requests and the way the doctors and nurses are all reacting to those requests, yeah, overly careful because of the fault that he had last episode. It's eating away at him.
How are you doing?
You're a doctor, not doing a bloody job for you.
It is.
A hell of a job digging him up.
Oh, God. Sorry. What about the lovely strapping?
That one hasn't thought of excuse yet.
Hasn't thought of an excuse yet.
Can't even get a whiskey at night.
I'm sorry.
Very good at being sorry, aren't you?
It's for my boss. He's going to give it to one of the patients.
Sounds even better.
So that's the antibiotic.
This is going to bruise, so they've got a song to go along with the title of the show. I've definitely had to do that before. Not that.
So degloving's when the skin gets torn from the underlying structures, like when a motorcyclist
happened
flies
to
off
me.
his bike and his hand goes.
Do we have to?
Okay, so I was in an auto accident long time ago, and I got a degloving my head from here back to here, and they basically, like, I was out for a long time. I was very lucky to ever wake up, honestly. But anyway, they had to pull the skin all the way back over, staple this stuff. Really bad, thick scars, which all had to be revised multiple times. When I woke up from that accident a week later, and I didn't know what happened, I didn't know what was going on, I was very, very clueless, and I couldn't talk, I couldn't communicate. It managed to get my dad to understand that I was asking what happened. So he explained that I had had this accident. I did remember driving. I did not remember the accident. I didn't remember anything surrounding that accident. The most I've gotten since the accident is little flashes of during the accident, but just like split second. So that's as much as I can remember. When I felt it, I thought it felt like there were nails in my head. I was terrified, thinking that I had nails in my head, but they were actually staples. And they did the surgery. They shaved all the hair off except for this tuft back here. They left long, so I had a shaved head and a rat tail. Horrible. When I do not have hair, I look like my brother. Not a look that I want to ever have. I did not like feeling like I looked like my brother. They touched on a little something that that I actually know something about, thanks to my own experience. Anyway, let's get back to the show.
A complete degloving of his penis. It's far and away the worst penis I've ever seen.
He's seen a lot of penises. Professionally, of course.
Seems like he is only out to his boyfriend. Like, for a little bit there, it sounded like he might have been out to this guy, this friend, because the way he was talking, but then even his boyfriend, like, made an excuse to make it sound like he was straight. It's gotta be rough, trying to keep that from everybody. But then it's also rough, the whole contemplation of opening up about something like that to people when you don't really know how they're going to react, or you assume that they're going to react negatively, like he believes that his mom is going to.
What the fuck's gotten into you?
What's that supposed to mean?
You do know you really upset them, right?
Oh, yeah.
Adam, what's going on?
Nothing.
I'm sure he needs to talk to somebody about it, but he doesn't feel that he can talk to somebody about it.
Hello, darling. I missed you.
Oh, and I did not realize on the last episode that she actually lived. For some reason, I thought she died because of all that blood and the way that everything came out. I thought that she had died, but they actually showed her sister in the room with her with the tubes in her nose. So I should have realized that she had actually made it, but I thought she had died. Thank goodness that at least she lived, and the baby's alive, and now I get to hear about how the baby's doing.
That's 10 points to anyone who guessed Kinder Egg.
Oh, go. Oh.
Carl Markham, will you marry me?
So else says.
Oh my goodness, that might be the most disturbing engagement I think I've ever seen. Holy cow.
Congratulations again.
Just cherish the little things, because
Didn't fancy a nightcap?
No, of course not. Jack Daniels tastes like cat's piss.
Oh, they were fresh out of I Avenue.
Nelda informed me that the patient with period pains was still on the ward this morning. I instructed you to send her home.
I really don't think you should be ignoring her symptoms.
I really don't think you should be ignoring me and Mr. Lockhart.
Trust me, she's really...
No one trusts you. I sent her home. Adam to learn from. Don't do what he does.
like, yeah, he's overdoing it and he's overstressing about things and overcorrecting, but there are better ways to handle that. Like, holy cow, don't treat other doctors like that. No matter how badly you think of them. What the?
Ovarian torsion, starved and ready. Yeah, that's the one. And if it's not an ovarian torsion, while I'm in theatres, I can always perform an emergency cutting my own head off.
I suspect that his instincts are correct. This seems more like an instinctive reaction, like, gut, something's wrong. And she definitely seemed like there was something really wrong. Like, that kind of immediate reaction isn't just from somebody being a hypochondriac or anything like that. And she doesn't seem to be that kind of person. So even if it's not exactly what he said, I suspect that there's something very wrong.
Oh, hold on. There's some free fluid in the abdomen. Something's going on.
See?
If you want me to walk him through it.
Thank you very much, Julian, but I suspect we'll be fine without you.
Thank you, God. I'm sorry about the mild blasphemy just before.
I'm not. I obviously swear and cuss sometimes. Apparently I had left the screen capture off. I'm sure BBC will be glad about that. Maybe I won't get hit for copyright strikes or anything.
You don't want to go the other way, do you?
Are you?
Well, I'm happy, but it's not my ovary. Pop by my office in half an hour, will you? I've got a little something I'd like to talk to you about.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Locke. Thank you. Art wants to give me a pat on the back, so I'll come and grab you when I'm done.
Lovely work there. You're a good little doctor, aren't you?
I've been trained by the very best.
Do you know what these are?
Babies.
25-weeker from a couple of weeks back. The mum's lodged a complaint.
Did he leave?
You know we've been going out for 2 years.
God, feels like longer. Feels like 10.
Will you marry me?
No.
You're not going to fill the hole with promises of a relationship and family and all that. Got to work on what's wrong before you work on a big transition like that. I think your boyfriend deserves better than that. Everyone deserves better. So that was episode 2 of This Is Going to Hurt. A lot less funnies, a lot more serious, but still funny and still serious and still very good. You wonder how he's going to deal with that, because I can easily say he needs therapy, but I know that that's not the easiest thing. He's already hiding a big part of who he is from most of the people in his life, and hiding something like that is not always easy to be willing to uncover and tackle and deal with. Too easy to assume that everybody in your life is going to be horrible, which it seems like a lot of those people would be anyway, but it's still, I feel like if you deal with the problems, it's easier to get through with them, even if the people that you have to deal with those problems with might be horrible. All right. So I will see you on the next episode of This Is Going to Hurt.
Until next time, I'll see you when I see you. If you like this video, please click the like button. If you want more content, click subscribe. If you click that little bell and click all, then you'll get more content notifications.